My name is Dave Chadee. I'm the Professor of Environmental Health at the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus. The Zika virus is spread by the Aedes aegypti mosquito. The mosquito is attracted to humans when they require a blood meal. It's only the females that actually take the blood meal. She would then come onto your skin, inoculate into your skin an anticoagulant which allows the blood to flow right up the proboscis into the salivary glands, into the stomach. And that's the way, when the virus is transmitted, as soon as the anticoagulant is inoculated into the skin of the person. Well, you can answer the question yes or no. Yes, there will be no disease in terms of transmission of dengue, yellow fever, chikungunya, and Zika. But there are other organisms that depend on Aedes aegypti. For example, the fish in the ponds and in the pools actually eat the larvae of the mosquito. The adults are actually eaten by bats and by lizards, and they become part of the food chain. So, of course, if you eliminate those mosquitoes, the fish would not have food, the lizards would not have food, the bats would not have food, and therefore they would require alternative food sources. And as a result, you may have what is called ecological disequilibrium. So there will not be that balance that you normally find in nature. We have forgotten our basics. Very often what happens is that program planners have not really been trained onto the basic biology of the mosquito and the basic understanding. Because they do not understand the organism that they're dealing with, they are unable to control it. And that is one very important reason why there's very little success in the control program. You know, there are people who simply think that all we need is a magic bullet. They use the medical approach to solving an environmental problem. A medical approach is excellent if you're trying to cure a medical problem, but an environmental problem cannot be treated like a medical problem. Profiling is looking at a community structure, the weather, the geography, everything you need to know about the environment, what type of housing, what kind of socioeconomics, how many people live in the house, what's the source of income, the number of people that are using the water supply, how many containers are in and around the homes. Do you have a elevated tank? Do you have an underground service system? Do you have pit latrines? Do you have privies? What do you have? And so by profiling, you would be able to then identify the hot spots, the houses that are of greatest risk, and therefore you could tailor your program to look at these houses of higher risk. And so you just simply cannot say that we have a strategy that will work, because a strategy that works in one country may not work in another country.